Okay, so now we're back. We're in the string methods section where we're going to be talking about methods. So again, if you're arriving at this content and you're not a part of the cohort, the content or the curriculum is in the description below. All you have to do is click on the link and you can follow along with us as well. So again, what have you learned up until this point? What have we introduced to you? We have introduced to you that strings have a collection. We introduced to you that they're immutable, that understanding how to find the index of a string to be able to pull out some information from that particular string to find out what's inside of a string, for as the length of a string, the property, which is a property, the length is a property. So we've learned quite a few things so far in this particular chapter. So now let's understand and learn about methods. So let's get into the curriculum. String methods. JavaScript provides many useful methods for string objects. Recall that a method is a function that belongs to a specific object. Methods would typically result in some operations being carried out on the data within an object. For strings, this means that our methods would typically transform the characters of the given string in some way. As we have learned, strings are immutable. Therefore, string methods will not change the value of a string itself, but instead will return a new string that is the result of the given operations. We saw this behavior in the two lowercase example. Here's the example again. And you see we're getting access with the dot modifier. That means the access modifier with the dot. And we want to lowercase everything that's inside the string. But understand something here. It doesn't change the string. It just reassigns it and creates a new string. So it's not mutable. We didn't mutate the string. All we did, we had to create a new one because of how strings work. It's important to get your head around that because you're going to have to understand that rule later on. So here, while non-profit dot to lowercase evaluate to launch code in all lowercases, the value of non-profit was left unchanged. This will be the case for each of the string methods. So understand, none of these string methods is going to change anything or it's going to destroy the actual string itself, but it's going to create a new one. So it returns a new one. Remember that word return, because we're going to be making this going to make more sense later on. We're just planting the seeds now. So here is some common string methods. It is important for you to go and click on these links, go over it and bookmark them. Now we give you a few examples of these particular methods that you can use on a string. I want you to go through each one of these and familiarize yourself with them and how they work. And we will use them later on in context when we are creating our software, when we're going through our algorithms, we do our assignments. You're going to learn how to use these methods later. Now, here's a cool tip. String methods can be combined in a process called method chaining. Get familiar with that because you're going to do a lot of method chaining, trust me. But here's an example. We have a word right here and we're assigning the JavaScript string to it. And then we're using to uppercase method to return all capital letters for JavaScript. That will be word, and then what is it saying? Slice to uppercase is returned. We're using this slice method. Okay, go ahead and play around with this. Go to it, let's inspect. Let's go to our console, clear that out. And let's go ahead and create that. So we're going to do let word, and we're assigning it a string. and we're calling it JavaScript. Now I've gone ahead and initialized it. Now I want to do what? I want to go ahead and it's giving me an example on how to modify it, right? Because we're using word to uppercase and it's going to return it as an uppercase. So let me go ahead and do that. So I'm going to do word dot to uppercase. It gives me some suggestions in the browser, and it did it. It uppercased it for me. And so what would this do right here? We're asking what happens if I do word dot slice to uppercase. So let's try that. Word dot slice. Remember, that is a function. Understand what slice does. And you see what it's giving you giving me a suggestion what it's doing. And then I want to do to uppercase. So I'm gonna go to uppercase, gives me suggestion right there to pick from. And what did it do? It sliced it, and then it uppercase the part that I sliced at that index, because we're indexing. Well, here's slice right here, and let me close this for a second. Slice, and this is why it's important for you to read these, go through this table right here. What slice does, it returns the substring consisting of characters from index I through index J -1. Remember I told you that -1 means something? Well, if you use it in the right way, it's going to give you to the end of the length of a particular array or a string. In this case, we're talking about the string, and that string has an index. And so remember, it's going all the way to the end of that particular property. What's the length? The length of it, the length of that string, which is JavaScript, and it's giving you the syntax right here. I just used the number 4, so I only wanted the starts. It has a starting and has an ending. Remember, it says here that contains characters from index 1 through J. So the I is the starting of the index, and index starts at 0. The J -1 is the end of the actual collection. So here, the end of JavaScript is the T. So what did we do here? We're slicing, and we only had to pass in the start. We didn't have to put the end because it automatically went to the end. So here, let's count this out. J is index 0. The first A is index 1, V is index 2, and then A is index 3. At index 4 is where it starts, and it's slicing it. It's returning the substring, it slices it, and then it goes all the way to the end, and then we did the to uppercase. So I hope that makes sense to you. Play around with the code so you can get a better understanding. Then go ahead and check your understanding. And that's the end of this section. I'll see you in the next section. And remember, the more you do, the more you improve. See you in the next section.